welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Comfort, and this is a channel where we talk about things that can help us to grow or mature or become ideal and appealing women. I welcome you if this is your first time. If you've been here before, I welcome you back. And please, let's continue from where we left off. The last time we were here, we talked about some of the pitfalls that we need to avoid while we make effective decisions. Today we want to look at some of the strategies that we can use as we make those decisions. So let's dive into the video. Welcome, and let's sit down. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We want to see some of those strategies that can help us make good decisions. So the very first strategy is defining your goals clearly. Ladies, before you make a decision, the first strategy you are going to use is defining your goals very, very clearly. You need to know exactly what your ultimate goal is, what you want at the end of that decision. So the very first strategy is defining your goal clearly so that you know what your ultimate goal is. It's very necessary for you to have your goals defined clearly because you need to remain focused. And what I've noticed is if you are going to make a decision and you don't have a clear goal, you're not going to be focused. Tomorrow you are here, the other day you are there. You need to define what you really want at the end of the day. That is going to help you remain focused. Strategy number 2, which I discovered 2 years ago, and I've been using this strategy for the last 2 years. I feel like it's very, very effective if you're able to read more about the next strategy I'm about to talk about. And that is a strategy of using the 10,10,10 rule. Where before you make a decision, ask yourself, how will this make me feel 10 minutes from now? If I made a decision like this, how will this affect my life 10 minutes from now? How will this affect my life 10 months from now? From there, you ask yourself, how will this affect my life 10 years from now? So the rule says the moment you look at things from that point of view, this helps you to actually have a perspective that helps you to align your decisions with your values. So you don't just make decisions out of the blues. You want to align your decisions according to your values and the things you actually really perceive very important. So that's strategy number 2, and you need to look at that rule, the rule of 10,10,10. I have read about it, and it's important because there are certain things that we get to decide when they can actually don't have an impact on us 10 years from now, or they will have a big impact on us 10 months from now, 10 years from now, 10 minutes from now. So that's strategy number 2. Let's dive into strategy number 3. Strategy number 3 is gathering diverse perspectives. Remember, we talked about one of the steps that you need to do is gather the information. So under gathering diverse perspective, this is where you take your time to ask different kind of people. And ladies, never underestimate anybody, never look down on anybody. You have no idea who can say exactly what you need to hear and something that can change your life. So when you're about to make a decision, one strategy you can use is try to gather diverse, or try and ask as many people as you can, young or old, especially those who are advanced in age. They have seen quite a lot. They say gray hair comes with wisdom. So take your time to ask. If you're younger and maybe you need information from somebody who's older, make use of your parents. If you don't have parents, if you have to research, go on and research. If you have to watch more videos about what to do on such matters, try and watch videos on what to do about such matters. Just make sure you have gathered, diverse perspective. That gives you an opportunity to avoid biasness, and also just look at a situation from different kind of angles, and you make an effective decision. That's our 3rd strategy. Let's move on to our 4th strategy. And our 4th strategy is, embracing the data that you have, but don't forget your own intuitions. Ladies, what have you ever made a decision and you're like, I'm so glad I followed my intuitions. I'm so glad I followed my instinct. So sometimes your instincts and your own experience can lead you into a best choice ever. So in as much as you want to gather the information, one strategy you can use is you need to, use that information, but don't forget your own intuitions. Ask yourself how you feel about certain things. Before you make a decision, ask yourself, how do I truly feel about this? And this kind of like takes us to 10, 10, 10 rule, where you really find out how it makes you feel, and if at all it can matter, yes, from now, and how it can affect people around you. So in as much as you want to actually embrace the data that you have collected, remember to always listen to your inner person and listen to your intuitions, listen to your instincts. Sometimes it tells you, sometimes at certain moments you're about to make a decision and you feel so heavy, like I feel so bad about this, I don't even know why I feel like that. That's your intuition. Sometimes you're going to have to listen to your intuitions, your own experience that you've seen from over the years, and things from other people's experiences. You can look at them and be able to make a decision. Let's dive into our second last strategy, and that is considering the worst case scenario. And I have used this my entire life. I remember my brother, sometimes he likes to say no, but that encourages to be negative. It's not being negative. When you are about to make a decision, consider the worst case scenario. This helps you to take care of your anxieties. When you are about to make a decision, ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen if I made a decision like this? And the best stage to do this is when you're analyzing your options. So those options you have, ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario if I ever decided to do this? What is the worst that can happen? It's very important. It's an effective strategy to use, because you know what? There are moments when we plan and we make decisions and we hope that things will turn out to be in a manner that we want, and things don't turn out to be like that. You know what? If you planned with a worst case scenario, it will not depress you to the fullest. You feel bad about it and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish things turn out different, but you still have your anxieties at a certain level. You take care of the anxieties. They will not go to a certain level that can be scaring, where you lose yourself, you lose your mind, because we're expecting too much. Remember, the Bible's already said expectations postponed makes the heart sick. So sometimes when you're too expectant and your expectations don't turn out to be the way you wanted them to be, you become anxious, you worry, you lose your mind. So if you're planning and you're using the strategy of considering the worst case scenario, this helps you to actually prepare for, you know what, if it doesn't happen, it's fine. You kind of like embrace the negative that comes with a bad decision. You kind of like embrace it quickly and move on. Let's go to our final strategy, and that is taking your time. Now, take your time to analyze, to think deeply about what you want to do and what exactly you want. But as you do that, don't take too long. Don't take too long, because that's also not nice, because eventually what will come in is you procrastinating and, just bringing in situations where you're like, oh no, I'm gonna decide tomorrow. So take your time, but don't take too long. So let's go over everything that we have discussed. We've talked about 6 strategies. The first one being defining your goals very clearly. And the second one we talked about, you can actually use the 10, 10, 10 rule, where we said ask yourself how you feel and how the decision can affect you in the next 10 minutes, in the next 10 months, in the next 10 years. And then we talked about gathering diverse perspectives, where you let other people tell you what they've been through and what they've seen. It doesn't matter who, never be choosy of exactly who gives you information. The fourth one, we said, while you embrace the data, don't forget to follow your instincts. Sometimes your own experiences can lead you to a good choice. I almost forgot, especially when it comes to choosing your married mate. Be very careful. Follow your instinct. Ask yourself how you feel about the person. When you see a red flag, don't just, no. Follow your instinct. Ask yourself how you feel about matters like that. Then the fifth one was considering the worst case scenario. Prepare with the worst in mind, so that if it happens, you know what, you will embrace the negative and you forge ahead. And finally, we looked at taking your time, but don't take too long. It's important for you to take your time to analyze everything, especially if a decision is a professional one or very big personal decision that you have to make. Does it have to do with somebody to marry? Does it have to do with the career you want to take? Does it have to do how you want to spend your life spiritually? Who do you want to spend your life with? Those are very, very important decisions, so you need to take your time. But we are saying, in as much as you're taking your time, don't take too long. Otherwise, you start procrastinating. So that's it for now. Remember to subscribe. Hit the bell so that you are notified every time we post a video. And remember to like the video. It's bye for now. It's Comfort.